Hello, everyone. My name is Jason Sanger, and this is my presentation of my assignment 2.2. So here is my site analysis summary. Here at the top left, we have some solar studies. The top from summer solstice, the middle from the equinoxes, and the bottom from the winter solstice. Then below that, we have a site journey map showing some significant or interesting things around the site. To the right of that, we have some transportation. So marked in green are bike lanes. Marked in purple is the light rail, and it's about 3/10 of a mile from the site to the light rail. So it's very reasonable to take the train to get to the site. And at the bottom, we have some climate information. At the top right, we have building codes and zoning information. And then to the right is the square footage amounts that I've calculated for my current model. Here we have four different isometric views of my building. So as we can see, it's rectangular form with a rectangular courtyard in the center with slope roofs aiming towards that courtyard. I had intended for some plants to be there and some evaporative cooling aspects. So when it does rain in Phoenix, that would allow the rain to pour down and be collected or used in that courtyard. Here we have some exterior vignettes, again showing some general form. Then we have the elevations. This is showing it looking to the east, this one to the north, this to the south. As you can see here, there's an opening in my building that's for vehicular drop off, so cars and buses to drop students off here at the school, and then west. And here we have some courtyard vignettes that I'd taken. The top left and bottom right show a mound that I'm using as an entrance to the underground pit, which is an area just intended for students to go to get away from school, to kind of exist, hang out a little bit, not intended to be used for any sort of functions or events or anything of the sort. And I had also intended for that to be sort of architecturally interesting. And a way that I tied that in was to use this sort of mound based off of a Hohokam architectural pit house. Then the bottom left, we can see a sort of pattern there and a slit in the building that's intended to allow for cross ventilation. And I based that pattern off of a painting that was on one of the mounds that I had studied. And then here we have four vignettes of that underground area. The pit is a very large area with some skylights to allow for natural lighting, as well as some artificial light for when the sun is not completely out. Again, this area is just intended for students to go to exist, to get away from school, and for it to be a bit architecturally interesting to kind of draw them in, make them want to be there. And here I have some information from an older iteration, but it's still very relevant. So top left, we have column placing and spacing, and that would be essentially the same for my newest form. Top right is circulation, same thing. So I have covered walkways for students to take, as well as a main circulation column or sort of vertical tube there on the edge. I've added another one on the opposite end of the building. Here at the bottom left, we can see circulation, vehicular in red, pedestrian in green, and approaches. And then bottom right, we can see indoor, outdoor aspects, as well as how those shaded walkways interact with the building. Then here we have some passive design strategy sketches that I jotted down, as well as at the top left, an idea for movable partitions for the classrooms or the learning areas. And then here we have some floor plans showing that very large underground space, as well as the ground floor, the second floor, and the roof plan. And here I have two sections of the building, again showing how this pit is reached through this mound. And then here, again, an older iteration diagram, but still very relevant, showing the relationship between the spaces, interacting with each other, where they're going, the general sizes of the spaces as well, and what would be in the building. And so I have an area for trades, I have a design market where artists can come showcase their work. I have a cafeteria and a kitchen. I have classrooms for engineering students or the engineering school. I have labs for the engineering students. I have a showcase room where the schools can have students present their projects so they can work on their presentation skills. And I have that gathering slash meditation area, which is the pit, and then a manufacturing floor. And then here on the right, I have a form exploration. Here on the left, I have a more zoomed in chart of the most up-to-date floor areas. And then here I have my project narrative. Thank you very much.